Horology. Today we're going to be doing a pretty straightforward video on how to use a watch cleaning machine. More specifically in this video, we're going to be using a L&R Master. It's a vintage watch cleaning machine. It's a 3-jar machine. It has 3 jars of cleaning solution and 1 chimney that is basically like a heated vent where you dry the parts. This technique and the principles in this are pretty universal for most cleaning machines. Even an ultrasonic cleaning machine, you could, it won't work exactly the same way, but in terms of like time spent in cleaning solutions, you can use this for that too. Okay, so we're going to go kind of step by step through the cleaning supplies I use, what the jars all do, and kind of how to use the machine in the most effective way. All right, let's get started. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about cleaning solutions. This is the first solution that I use. It's Zenith Radiant, and it's a pretty strong cleaning solution that is really good for getting rid of grime and oil and really anything stuck to the movement. It also really shines up the parts. So this is definitely like a great first cleaner. The next 2 jars are going to be different rinses, and I use Zenith Dries Bright, and this also helps brighten up the parts and rinses off the parts, gets rid of all that other cleaning solution that could be vaguely caustic. It's quite useful. It's a little bit expensive, to say the least. Oh, that looks so dark there. It's about $50 per jug. I think these are 1 gallon. But it'll last you a long time, and it's definitely kind of a must-have. It won't mess with the watch parts at all. Dish soap or something like that could theoretically rust parts, and this won't do anything like that. Okay, so here are our cleaning jars. Our first jar is the cleaning solution, and this is the really strong stuff, the Zenith Radiant. And this is basically there it really is just like the initial major cleaner. Next, you've got your first rinse, and that is, just like what it sounds like. It rinses off the cleaning solution. So it's there to rinse off any cleaning solution, rinse out any extra debris. And then finally, you've got your second rinse, which is the 3rd jar. These both are Zenith Dries Bright. And again, just like what it sounds like, this is the final rinse, and it basically just makes sure that any last itty bitty bit of debris, anything left in there, is gone. So a good tip, actually, when you do have to clean this, when you do have to replace the cleaning solution, you don't have to do it every watch because that would be super expensive. But once things start getting hazy in there, and there's obviously a decent amount of particulate in there, you don't want to use that anymore. So obviously replace the Radiant, and you would replace the first rinse. But what you can do to save solution, since it's so expensive, is you can actually use the final rinse as your first rinse, and kind of just swap those jars out, and then replace the solution, the rinsing solution, into your last jar as your new final rinse. In terms of how much to fill the jar, you need enough solution in there to fully submerge the basket, obviously the cleaning basket. If you have the original jars, if you have an L&R Master, a good kind of rule of thumb that I use is I just fill it up just a little bit past the L and the R on the jar. But otherwise, you can kind of eyeball it. You don't need a ton above, but you need at least a little bit above. So you're going to want to load up your cleaning basket, obviously, with your watch parts. What I'm doing today, I'm just doing kind of a fault finding cleaning. So this is obviously not fully disassembled like it should be for a proper servicing. You can see it's mostly all together with just a few parts taken out, like the cannon pinion and the barrel. You don't want the barrel in there when you're doing this, because that cleaning solution can kind of get stuck in the mainspring. So this is how they do it at Rolex. Before they do a proper service, they'll actually, at least according to their manual, they will take out the barrel and take off the automatic mechanism if it has one. and then basically run it through a cleaning cycle like this. And then they run it and kind of see if there's anything obviously wrong with any of the parts. So anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. Normally this would be fully disassembled. And obviously when you load your basket, you want to make sure that the parts are kind of in an order that makes sense and also nice and secure, so that they won't go flinging around too much, because there's just nothing good that can happen from that. And there you have it. Now we're loaded up, ready to clean. Here is the cleaning machine. It is very straightforward. To the right, you can see my ultrasonic cleaner. I'm letting the case for the movement that I'm cleaning just soak in there right now. I've run it through the ultrasonic cleaning. And here is kind of how it works. You have the on-off. This is actually not to turn the whole power on or off. As you can see, it'll still power up even when it's off. This is basically to turn on the heater, and that turns on this chimney here, which is the heating unit. And you've got your speed control here. The higher you turn it up, the faster it spins. And this changes the direction. So here it goes one way. There it goes the other way. And I know that the top of these lids looks really dirty. They're just oxidized. They're just a little light rust on there because they're really old. So here we go. We're going to start the cleaning process. First, you're going to attach your basket. It pushes up. There's little springs on it to kind of keep it on there nice and tight. You push up, twist it on. First thing, you're going to turn on the chimney so that it starts heating up, because it takes a solid few minutes to actually get started heating. Then you're going to get your cleaning solution ready. Get it opened up. The little lever loosens. You spin it around. And you drop it down into your cleaning solution. Tighten this up so that it won't go anywhere. And start spinning. You don't want to spin it too crazy fast. You don't want it to go too slow. So I generally do it in the middle. I'm sure everybody's motor is probably a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to let it spin like that for 2 minutes, going one direction. And then after that, we're going to reverse the direction and spin it for another 2 minutes. And we're going to do that for each part of the cleaning process. So for each of the 3 jars, and then for the chimney, we'll do 4 minutes on each station, let's call it. And we're reversing the direction halfway through. You want to reverse the direction just because, it's like anything. If you spin it one way and then you spin it another, it's probably going to, get deeper into any pockets that might have formed. Okay, so 2 minutes are up. We're going to turn it down all the way to get it to stop spinning before we reverse direction. You can just flip the switch, but it's probably going to be a little bit rough on the motor. So just to save the motor a little bit, we're gonna slow it all the way down first. Okay, now the second 2 minutes are up. So I'm going to turn this down, and I'm actually just going to take it partway out of the cleaning solution here. So the basket is out of the cleaning solution, but that it's still within the jar. And now we're going to spin off whatever's still stuck in the parts and stuck in the jar. And you can let it spin for kind of as long as you want, but don't push it. I would say probably 10 to 30 seconds per direction. Should get you a pretty good spin. And you also don't want to go crazy with the speed on the spin, because you might, if you get it going really fast, then a part might really fling around in there if it's kind of stuck on something, or it could even theoretically come out of the basket if it's small enough. And now we move on to the first rinse. And we do the same thing. 2 minutes, then change direction. 2 minutes, then spin. Next jar. the same thing applies for the heated chimney as well. I don't know if it's called a chimney officially, but that's what I call it. So you want 2 minutes and 2 minutes in here as well. Okay, so the cleaning process is now done, obviously, and the drying process. Obviously, since it's just been drying, it's really hot. So you want to turn off the heater and just let it sit for at least a few minutes. You don't want to burn yourself. So now we just wait for that to happen, and I'll show you. I'll show you how the movement came out. Here is the movement fresh out of the solution. You can see that it's a lot shinier and cleaner than it was before. Again, I'm handling this with my just normal fingers, no cots, because this is just a kind of trial run. This isn't anything really proper like a proper service would be. And there you have it. That's how you use a cleaning machine. If you have any questions or comments, please ask me. Please leave a comment. I try to be pretty good about responding. And yeah, keep an eye on my channel. I should be posting more videos, more tutorials, hopefully very soon. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.